right, getting you more details, some exclusive information. How was this covert operation really carried out? Now, Zawahiri was killed with the cooperation of Afghanistan-friendly nations. Top sources tell CNN News 18 that United States has used Pakistan airspace in its covert operation. A top intelligence source has further confirmed that the US drone flew from a Middle Eastern country. It is further indicated that it's most probably UAE that used Pakistan's airspace. USA has further informed Pakistan in advance. Pakistan has an advance notice for its airspace permission and route of the drone. While there's also a possibility that Pakistan was not aware of the target, who the target of this covert operation really was. Anand Narasimhan, our managing editor, is joining us on the broadcast. Anand, this is a clear, these are clear details of how this covert operation was carried out, and perhaps Pakistan was not aware of the target.
Well, not just that these are all Afghanistan-friendly nations. So did the Taliban actually know? And is this going to drive a wedge between within the Taliban, between the Taliban and the Haqqani network, and more importantly between Pakistan and the Haqqanis? So there are multiple questions that have to be answered. There is no doubt that the Taliban establishment was aware of Ayman al-Zawahiri's presence in Kabul, because this is the heart of Kabul and this is Sherpur in Kabul. It is impossible that nobody knew. But the fact is, who gave this information and how did the drone find passage? If it was Pakistani airspace that was used, and the origin of the drone or origin of this drone, the US drone, was one of the Middle Eastern countries. So clearly these nations knew that there is action which is happening. Perhaps the Pakistanis did not know what the target or who the target is, and they didn't bother to find out. The Pakistanis say they were even unaware that Osama bin Laden was there in Abbottabad behind the military barracks, and that the Americans came and neutralized Osama bin Laden. So they were so clueless with their own backyard. So clearly this was the aspect. The other thing is, when the US asked for airspace, the Pakistanis hardly say no. So it is possible that they were not aware of what this drone strike was about. The fact of the matter is that this is going to have ramifications. Ramifications at various levels. Within the Taliban itself, between the Haqqani network and the Taliban and the Taliban group, that is the Mullah Yaqub group. So these are multiple factions within the Taliban, and their Shura will have an opinion on this. Because, and of course, the Pakistani establishment will turn around and ask Sirajuddin Haqqani a few questions about what was happening in Afghanistan and how was this allowed and how were you guys clueless. And the Haqqanis will turn around and ask the Pakistanis, why did you give the drone airspace?
Absolutely, Anand. Multiple angles, not just within Afghanistan, but its friendly nations. To what extent did Pakistan really have information? Let's also take you through some key questions that arise in the aftermath of al-Zawahiri's killing. What are the key ramifications that my colleague was also talking about? First of all, how was Zawahiri in Kabul without the knowledge of Taliban? Is that even a possibility? Most experts would say that's not a possibility. Did Taliban give sanctuary to Zawahiri from 2021? Is Taliban once again al-Qaeda's political shield, a fear that the global community has always had? With no clear deputy, what happens to al-Qaeda now? Is it over? Or perhaps this terror organization will find a new leadership? And the domestic audience of Joe Biden, will his sagging popularity in US find a new boost? Is this something that he can use to appeal to his domestic audience?